Hi, in today's video we'll be talking about Extra's second project, Clinaqua. So, Clinaqua was an outcome into how can we solve one of the biggest problems that we are facing today, which is how to be sustainable. And specifically, how can we fight the plastic pollution problem? Which by now we know that plastic pollution is a very big deal and a very big problem that the world is facing. Not only putting a threat to humanity, but putting a threat to all life forms, and to the world and nature. So if we analyze the problem, we will find that the main source of it is that plastics are engineered so that they can stay forever. It's not something that has a lifespan. And so if we compare it with the current state of the world, which is how the world operates, which is nature, whatever it creates, it has a lifespan. For instance, whenever that lifespan ends, it either A, becomes something that it is consumed by nature, so that it generates energy, or B, it's something that becomes something else. And plastics are not engineered to that. Plastics are only engineered to stay forever. And so we know statistically that even if you recycle plastics, just 20% of all the plastics get recycled, and they can only get recycled mainly 5 times. Because whenever you surpass that 5 times, plastics doesn't have the resilience so that it can stay in its natural state of materiality. So it decomposes whenever it arrives to that state. And when it decomposes, it turns into microplastics, which is even worse because it ends up being consumed by animals, which A, kill them, or B, are consumed by humans, which means that the food chain contains microplastics, which we already know that it contains microplastics. And we know that microplastics produces cancer. So it's a very big problem. It's a deep one also. So if we analyze the solution to that, we have to turn back to nature and see how nature operates. Not as a way of saying nature is a block and wall, but saying that nature is a genius. Because nature had billions of years of evolution. We know that nature had more than 3 billion years of testing, failing, until it released the end product, which is the current state of all life forms on Earth, like humans, animals, trees, etc. So by saying that nature is genius, what we have to do is connect the human innovation with nature, not as a way of seeing it as something that will block human innovation, but something that will enhance it. And that's what we believe at Extra. What we try to do with our projects is that connect the world better with nature. And so the solution that we are providing to the very big problem of plastic pollution, notably the single-use plastic bottles, is having a problem that's ecological, using biodegradable materials, and also having a filter inside it. And even the design that we are providing into the product is something that directly inspired from nature. So we took inspiration from how water flows, because water has a very interesting, curious, and genius ways of operating. For instance, we know that water is mainly acting because of tension, not gravity, and water has very deep and interesting properties. And so we added to the design the natural form of water and the flow of it, because we want to also enhance that connection between humans and nature, innovation and nature, because we know that that's the path. Because simply we, as humanity as a whole, we tried to do things disconnected from nature, and it didn't work. For instance, we know that now we are heading into this extinction because of climate change, CO2 emissions, plastic waste, the huge amounts of waste that we are giving to the world, we as humans, and that's a very big problem. So the only way to face that problem is connecting better the human innovation with nature, and that's what we are trying to do into our projects, and that's what we are trying to do with Clinaqua. We think it's a very deep project that we have here. So thank you very much for watching, and see you guys in the next one.